Maidin Bhá Carda. Baválum Lower Tween Hate Speech Bill. Good morning, my friends. I'd like to talk to you about this hate speech bill. First of all, please all remember it is a bill, not a law. In order for it to be law, it has to be written in by Michael D above an R snout on, right? Absolutely pointless token emblem, that's all he is. But just like the Migration Pact, it has to be written into law. Okay? Now, FYI, that Migration Pact, right? You know the government that you've all repeatedly voted in, there was an opt-out clause and they chose to ignore it. They chose to do this to ERA. They didn't have to. They chose to do this. They chose to bring all these people in. Okay? Now, this hate speech bill is another way to persecute us further, because if you're white, if you're straight, if you're this, if you're harsher penalties, because apparently white people can't face racism. Are you joking me? The only racism happening in this country is against white people. The very proof of it is the fact that our own are lacking and struggling. Our own have no mental health services. Our own can't get a doctor's appointment. Our own are living on the streets and in cars, while they have deliberately destructed our landscape, right? Taken away our historical sites, our fairy forts, traveller land, every single thing, and just levelled it. And then put millions into building for people that have no rhyme or reason to be here. Because what, they can't be arsed to get off their holes in their own country. Lads. And by the way, who the hell does Helen McEntee think she is? That she can rewrite hundreds of years of history and ignore the thousands upon thousands of Irish people that died fighting to give us what we have. She thinks she can shit all over the Constitution. Her and her puberty blocking husband. You know who her husband is, right? Now, the two of them, that dangerous duo between vaccines and puberty blockers, have benefited to the tune of millions from our misery, from our being stuck inside in our gaffs for 3 years. We had the harshest lockdown in the whole of Europe, right? Businesses were closed. People suffered severe mental, and the amount of vaccine related injuries. Wow. Please do not continue to allow these people to have power in this country, because they only have their own interests at heart. Now, as for Michael D, right, he has one job, literally one job, and that's to be the keeper of the Constitution. He's clearly inept at it. He's received thousands of emails and letters and not responded, not stood up, not spoke out, not done anything. Okay? He is unnecessary. Okay? I heard him on a clip on the Late Late Show and he was like, I'm the President of Ireland. Of course I'm going to be flying first class. And what have you done to deserve that? Absolutely nothing. You're a joke. You don't stand up for your people. The President of Ireland should have the most power and should be the most protective of his people. He's just sitting there doing nothing. So if he could want to continue under this draconianism, right, and tyranny and complete destruction of our people and our nation, then keep voting in these parasitic suits. If you want change and you want the real era that we all loved and grew up in, the National Alliance is the only way to go. Because if we get in there, we will rip up every one of their bills, past or present. Doesn't matter. They think put them there. Think we can't take them back? We will rip them to shreds. Every one of them that is repugnant and unconstitutional. And a personal pet of mine is to have them all face accountability, face retribution. I want them all arrested. Everyone that has had a part in the destruction of this land, from the RUC to the politicians, Judge Nolan, Norma Foley, that clown talking on SPHE thing the other day about sexuality in children, you fucking pervert. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Enough, people. Enough. If you want a safe land and you want an era that doesn't look like the other cesspits of the world, the only way is to vote us in. But we need you to do that. We can't do anything from the outside. So please choose the right way, be registered to vote, and vote the National Alliance.